Lily the pink, the savior of the human race. For she invented medicinal compound, most efficacious in every case. Mr. Fleas had sticky out ears, and it made him awful shy, and so they gave him medicinal compound, and now he's learning how to fly. Brother Tony was known to be bony. He would never eat his meals, and so they gave him medicinal compound, and now they move him round on wheels. Wheels, drink to Lily the pink, the savior of the human race. For she invented medicinal compound, most efficacious in every case.
In the current recession, it appears that the pub trade in the UK is under threat, or is it? I went to investigate further and went to talk to a couple of people in the industry. I'm here with Andy from Brewdog in Hockley, Nottingham. Just here to ask a few questions, really. Just sort of, when did you start up the Brewdog?
Well, Brewdog was actually it's actually a brewery that started up by two chaps, James White and Martin Dickey. That started in 2007. The whole idea was it's just basically brewing completely different beers to what we've seen in the UK. And then after that, it kind of gained momentum in opening 2 or 3 bars in Scotland, and then they opened one in Camden, and then we were the second bar to open up nearly 2 years ago.
Right, so it's been 2 years in Nottingham then?
Yeah.
It's spreading quite rapidly.
Yeah, in terms of the actual business, not just geographically to Nottingham, it's a rapidly expanding business and stuff like that. So obviously maintaining fast growth, and the quality is what our prime aim is, to grow at a rate that we can handle. But in terms of the popularity of this specific bar in Nottingham, it's just been astronomical kind of response, especially over the last year or so. And when we first opened, it was kind of a very slow burner. People were a little bit wary because obviously Nottingham's got a very rich traditional kind of drinking real ale scene, and as we're seeing something as a little bit alien, the fact that it wasn't served by a cask, or the fact it wasn't hand pulled or anything like that, there's a little bit of wary kind of behaviour just because of the people who kind of care about what they drink. It was a little bit misinterpreted in the beginning.
So what's your unique sort of selling point then, as you say?
In terms of the bar and stuff like that, it is obviously all about beer. Beer is what we're all about and stuff, but it's also about creating the atmosphere, and also as well providing not just a basic service of here's your drink. It's all about knowing the product and knowing what goes into the product, being able to just explain to the customer the quality and the ingredients that's going inside, because I do believe like a lot of the beer that we sell is much better than any kind of beer that you see in a 4 tap with something like we've got Carlsberg on, or we've got a really kind of something like Green King IPA or something like that.
So you're selling away from the normal Heineken, the Strongbows,
Yeah, it's completely different to like the big monolithic industrial kind of breweries that basically just churn out beer after beer and just brewing for bottom line profit. That's not what we, of course, we're a business, but we're brewing for flavour, brewing to experiment. So we do a lot of different kinds of beers. Some that we do, like in terms of give a rough idea, we've got a beer called Nanny State, which is a 0.5% non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, so you're doing non-alcoholic as well?
Yeah, we did that in reaction to a beer that was called Tokyo Star, which was 18.2%. So it was kind of like a reactionary beer.
Is that your highest brew? Is that the highest one?
That's the highest one we do on draft at the moment. So we do Star that I mentioned, which is 18.2%. That is a beer that we only sell in thirds, and which is a measurement that we brought back. It used to be an archaic measurement, and then it just kind of got phased out, and we had we create like a little bit of a noise and a little bit of movement about it. We got thirds of a pint reinstated, which is absolutely vital, because if you're drinking really strong beer, a lot of people who work here have worked in places around this area, and so they brought a wealth of knowledge with them to kind of help grow the Brewdog business as well.
So where do you see Brewdog going in the future from here now?
In terms of the company, it's very much going to have a global reach, and just because people are so enthusiastic about getting Brewdog to their country or their city, that Brewdog will find a way to kind of make it happen and stuff. We've just opened Sao Paulo, Going to be opening in Tokyo soon, and probably Berlin. There's a few more cities in the UK that we're looking at. Give a definitive path. I reckon it's just going to just keep getting busier, and just hopefully just do more exciting things for all customers and stuff like that, and for ourselves as well. Because I say we are customers as well. The fact that we work here, but we're
Excellent.
I say, yeah, customers.
Drink, let the toast on and play, young hearts never part.
Following my visit to Brewdog, I went to a traditional pub, the March Hare, to talk to Margaret and Drew, who run the pub, to find out what they had to say about life in the pub trade. How did you go into the pub trade at the beginning?
Well, as George, my husband, late husband, his mother and father were always in pubs. He was brought up in pubs. Then he went into the forces. Then when he came out, he took a small grocery shop on Windmill Lane. They were building this pub. The Carlton was here, a little pub on the corner called the Carlton. They pulled that down and they said they wanted to give it a new image, because it was streamlined, the 50s, really go to town on it, no outdoor toilets and things like that. So he put in for it and he got the licence.
And this is how it come about.
1958.
1958 was when
£3,000 it cost to build.
Really? So how long has it been?
So we've been here since we got the key.
So
These was...
Well, I wasn't born then.
No.
But as is, we've been here ever since.
It's a family-run
It's
pub.
all family, me, my sister, mum.
The drink driving. That put the kibosh on a lot of things.
Because
And-
obviously in the 50s and 60s there weren't no drink drive rules as such. No, what, so the later 60s the drink drive started coming in.
In the, what was it? Not long ago, 7 years ago, so to be 07, 07, when they did the no smoking ban. I think they thought all the people that didn't smoke could come running in to take over where the smokers had left, but it's not happened. All they've done is close pubs. Crown, Smithies,
that's gone. Red Cow's gone.
Jubilee's.
A whole host of pubs. Jubilee.
Jubilee's gone.
There must have been 8 or 9 pubs gone
Jubilee,
within the last.
Alcester.
Is that right in St Anne's? Apparently, there were 50
Oh no,
pubs.
this is just on Carlton
This is
Road.
just Carlton Road.
This is just Carlton
In
Road.
Stenton,
Yeah.
Yeah, the decline in public houses now is unbelievable. But what you've got to take into consideration now is a modern drinking culture, whereas you're fighting against supermarkets. They can sell beer that cheap. The younger generation, we was taught anybody who's sort of 45 and 50 used to come out, socialise, have a drink.
Darts, pool.
The younger generation now stop at home playing Space Invader and having a drink at home.
Parties.
And this is all happening
Barbecues.
for the decline of...
shifting the culture of
shifting the
pubs.
culture.
Yeah.
And our regulars are used to the old-fashioned hours. Even if you go pubs round us, they don't open till 4 o'clock.
We shut.
We shut and they open. And then
we
we
swap customers.
Then we sort of reopen again at 6 o'clock. But it's just
Till 11.
You find that works best for you, obviously. It
Yeah.
still works for
Oh
you.
yeah.
So what about the charity? I see there's a lot of pictures on the wall
Yeah,
here. Where do you
yeah.
get these from?
Well, they're for the kiddies with leukemia, and well, not only kiddies but grown-ups as well, but mostly for the kiddies in London. And as I say, George, my husband, he was well into doing for charities. He believed in it. I mean, years ago, all landlords did a lot for charities. They used to have all sorts, but now the only charity is your own charity. That's how bad it is. Nobody donates hardly anything. They've really gone down the pan.
So all these famous faces have actually donated these then
Yeah,
to your
yeah.
husband
Well,
and
they come
yourself?
to present the cheques, and they've been in over the years.
Who are these people? Are they
Different people.
So,
yeah.
So you've done that quite a lot over the years, and you still.
Well, we
doing
used to
that?
have groups on, all the groups, loads of them. I can't even remember now half of them, but.
Have you had any famous people,
Well,
play here?
George only used to pay him a fiver if there was just a solo singer. And when the Beatles came to the Odeon in
The Beatles
town,
came here.
the chap who looked after them came up and spoke to George. He said about putting him here, but he said he wouldn't give them above a fiver. He says, well, there's 4 of them, so a fiver each. But then it was in the 60s. They weren't as famous as they became. He says, well, it's just a starting off peg,
Yeah.
So they didn't ever arrive. I think he got a write-up in the paper about it.
Is that the local paper? That
Yeah,
would be
quite a stir.
Was there anybody else of note that came here to
Well,
play, famous or...
George come back one night, believe it or not, with bloody Diana Dawes. And I looked at him. I
Really?
says to him, I just looked at him. I was speechless. He come in, he says, I've brought a few friends back. And Jimmy Henderson with Diana Dawes and him with the boiled head, David Nixon.
Oh, David Nixon.
Oh,
yeah. Was he
Christ,
the
I could
comedian,
tell you a few
the,
tales. Engelbert Humperdinck, he came one night. Elvin Stardust. We've had loads. When the Heart of the Midlands was going, they used to come back here for a drink because it was still 10:30 drinking. Although with it being a club, they could have stopped there. But when they'd done the turn, Matt Monroe's been and
Matt Monroe, yeah.
Mike and Bernie Winters, they came.
So Matt Monroe played here then?
No, he didn't play.
But
He came in, with some friends after time. He'd left his Rolls Royce parked on the front, and of course, by the time he went out, they took the badge and all the everything off of it. Souvenirs.
Souvenirs, collector's items.
Yeah.
Yeah, with jukebox, do you have any...
Yeah, we've still got the original jukebox. Well, the original one when we came was a Wurlitzer, but it got banged about and scuffed about. So that one has been in since, I think, 68, 70. All the original records, the original stars on it. And it goes.
It works still.
Fantastic sound
People
on
are
it.
using it now still.
Yeah, but folks is that hard up, they won't even pay 10 pence to hear a record.
It's a shame, isn't
They're
it,
not put
really?
money in. This is how it is, it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's the way of the world. If you could turn back time to how it was.
You
I
miss
mean,
those days, obviously.
There's even the price list up there. I think a pint of bitter was 1 and 4, and a pint of mild 1 and 2.
Incredible. So what have you got for the future of the pub, hopefully?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. We're all in uncharted waters. I don't think even the breweries know which way to jump.
You're passionate about the pub still,
Yeah.
Which era would you say was your favourite?
Well, the 60s, 70s was the good times. We've had some laughs, we've had some good times.
It appears that there is both an optimism and a scepticism for the future of the great British pub. It seems that its future rests in the hands of the general public and the pub traders and brewers, and time will only tell what the future will hold for what has been a part of British culture for many years. Hopefully it will survive and once again thrive for many years to come. I think we'll all drink to that.